Orale! Bienvenidos and welcome to the Familia FFB podcast. This is Jorge Martin and we are live on YouTube, familia. ¿Cómo estamos? ¿Cómo estamos? Friends are in the house already. Oh, amigo, Craig Reith. Muchas gracias. Buen día, mis amigos. Ooh, please, you were one of the people I really wanted to hug this last weekend at the Fantasy Football Expo. I really hope you're able to make it next year because you are you're just a very treasured amigo. So hopefully you can make it out there next year. Familia, I tell you, please make sure you're giving us a like and subscribe. And when you're going out, when you're going on YouTube, please, por favor, our numbers have been jumping up. This is the time we're going to be bringing you a lot of content. I'm a little scratchy right now. The Fantasy Football Expo came down with a little bit of a bug. So if you hear me coughing, if you hear me at some point not doing anything, it's because I am suppressing a cough or I'm coughing and I muted myself. So yeah, but still, but first, I want to make sure you're going to fantasypoints.com, familia. I want to make sure you're going to fantasypoints.com and use the promo code Familia22. Get yourself 10% off. I'm telling you, so much great content is out there. I honestly, I didn't need a book because all I did was download a boatload of articles from fantasypoints.com, and that's all I read on the planes. I had 3 flights going each direction. That's all I read. Truth be told, muy cierto, muy cierto. I just checked out so much great content. I got smarter. There is so much great stuff from John Hansen, Graham Barfield, and buen amigo who I got to hang out with for the first time. Tom Brawley, Joe Dolan, Wes Huber, Scott Barrett. I mean, just some of the great fantasy minds, and also Greg Cosell's his prospect guide, the NFL rookie prospect guide, is discounted 60%, familia. I just used that guide yesterday to actually give some information to somebody who hit me up on Twitter who said that Damian Pierce was not a good pass catcher. And I pointed out a note from Greg Cosell that when he's had the opportunity, he has been a good pass catcher. And the person was just like, hey, when it's Greg Cosell, that guy is a god. I trust him implicitly. So I do too. I trust everybody at Fantasy Points. So otra vez, put in that promo code Familia22. You guys have been coming out and doing great for me. And get yourself 10% off, Familia. It's so cool. Let's see. Amigo J Wall. Oh, mi amigo. I just loved hanging out with you. Over the weekend. I mean, it was you were better than advertised, my friend, mi amigo. You're not just a friend. You are familia now. So just had such a great time hanging out with you, telling some stories. I can't believe that I hadn't shared with you the George Lopez and the fact that I worked at the Dodgers. So you were dumbfounded. It was cool, but and it was loved hanging out with you. It was and loved seeing you moss people on the football game. So love it, familia, love it. So before we get into some ADP price check, I just wanted to give a little more shout out to what the Fantasy Football Expo. The Fantasy Football Expo is just it happens in Canton, Ohio for a long weekend every year. It's Friday to Sunday. And it's Canton, Ohio. Bob Long, God bless him, said it is in Canton, Ohio now, and it will always be in Canton, Ohio. As long as he's putting it together, it's going to be in Canton, Ohio. So much as I would love to have it be in Vegas and have it be something I could drive to, like some people were able to, I think for everything, it's going to be a flight, but it was well worth it. I mean, from playing poker on Friday afternoon, getting drummed out, being able to hang out with people, meet people for the first time that I'd only interacted with on Twitter and going on shows and live streams. And having them on Familia FFB to actually see them in front of me and actually be able to hug them and thank them for being a part of Familia FFB and helping me grow. And I just got to tell you, it was absolutely a special weekend. And one of the most pleasant surprises of the weekend, something I'm forever going to be indebted to Graham Barfield for, as I was flying out I checked Discord for fantasy points, and Graham had put out there just probably about half hour before if anybody wanted to do an auction draft, and I was like, yes, please, raise my hand. And Graham's like, oh, you're coming out, awesome. So he gave me the keys to draft a team, and I tell you, I think I did pretty well, Familia, because oh man, I mean, it was good. It was good. It was such a great time. And I mean, the thing was, it was a 14-team league. And I tell you, it was, it being a 14-team league, some people were able to spend up really quickly. And I thought it was good to be aggressive early. And so when I was aggressive early, I was able to get some guys. Let me grab. I actually accidentally closed that tab, but I tell you, I got aggressive early. I talked to Graham, who is like me. He is, or I'm like him. I like to go hero RB, and so I love to do that. And so I'm, being able to go hero RB. I said, hey, I hope I don't spend too much on Jonathan Taylor. And very first player that I got, he was probably like the third or fourth player called out. Jonathan Taylor, $52, and it was on, Familia. It was on. I mean, it was great. So I'm gonna actually share the screen. Let me actually make this a little bit bigger. I'm gonna. Let's see if I could share the screen, and you can see kind of where I'm at. Let's see. Is it? Oh, here we go. Should be able to do that now. And let's see. Can you guys see it now? Let's see. So here's the team that I drafted under Graham Barfield. Went Kyler Murray at $14. I thought was a bargain. I'm very high on Kyler Murray this year. I think he's going to be one of the things I pointed out recently on Twitter is the fact that after week 6, he has only one potential weather game. Everything else is either in California or in the dome. So I think he's going to pop. He's not, the weather is not going to be an issue except for week 15 in Denver. I think it's great. Jonathan Taylor, hey, nothing need to be said. He and Christian McCaffrey were the 2 highest paid players. And the crazy thing was there was another Kings Classic draft in which case that he went for close to $70. So I thought he was a big bargain. Also 14-team league. That was the thing, going aggressive early. And I think that helped me because I think people may have taken their foot off the pedal a little too quickly. People were, it's funny, I was sitting next to the great Scott Pianowski, who pointed out that toward the end, he had all this money saved up and he said, I don't know what I'm saving it for. None of these guys are any good. So, in his dry wit. So, such a good dude. But yeah, Jonathan Taylor grabbed Ramondre Stevenson for $15. And then the receivers, Gabriel Davis, Tyreek Hill, Michael Thomas, Deontay Johnson, Sky Moore. I mean, just all of those guys. I think Sky Moore, because of injuries in Kansas City, I think he's ready to pop. And grabbing Jared Goff at the end as a second QB, I think it's good. It's probably only gonna be 1 week, but that's fine. That's fine. Oh man, sorry about that. Okay. Getting all those guys, Dawson Knox and at $8. Someone, when I put this on Twitter, someone said, why didn't you get Josh Allen? I said, well, he was almost $10 more than Kyler Murray, so I wouldn't have been able to afford Dawson Knox. I liked getting Kyler Murray because I think and I'm going to talk about him in a second. I think he's ready to pop. All he has to do is stay healthy. So good times, just a great time, just a great time all around. I mean, mean, it was just phenomenal, just phenomenal. Oh, Familia. So I'm gonna throw out some hellos. Oh, Craig Reith, otra vez. Mr. Scampers. So thank you. You and Dame Overboard just absolutely destroyed in your rookie draft. That was awesome. Craig says, "Hola, Scampers." And Mr. Scampers, I actually kept holding it over all the Front Yard Fantasy guys who were there. Told them how I knew Mr. Scampers early personally, and I thought it was I thought it was a great secret to keep over them. So and I told him I'm not gonna let it go. Not gonna let it go. So Alberto. Buenos dias. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining, and I hope you guys are ready to ask some questions in the AMA. And Dame Overboard, another one. Yes, La Dama, you absolutely crushed it. I mean, gosh, what was it? Taekwon Thornton with your third pick? No, it was Wandale Robinson. Jeez, ay Dios mío, you just you killed it. Both of you guys, as I kidded that you guys have been paying attention to some pretty good podcasts. So muchas gracias everybody. Thank you so much. Keep throwing comments in the chat. I really appreciate it. So before anything, I am going to get into a little bit of chisme. Yeah, sorry, my voice is a little bit so starting off on a bit of a rough note. Deshaun Watson settles for an 11-game suspension. So irony of ironies, he comes back at Houston week 13. So I don't know if how that had to play into it, but I wonder if he's going to hear some boos right there. The one thing, I'm not going to get into what he got. I mean, I'd like to think that the league is happy with what the suspension, and that this stops people from doing this in the future. And I'm just, I'm a girl dad. You guys know that. I'm trying hard to stay down the middle on this. So I'm going to do that. Also, you're going to know that I've still got the NFL Insider Series with the Cleveland Browns coming up. So still need to reschedule that date, and then we'll talk about that a little bit more. But one thing that I'm very curious about. So, from weeks 13 to 18, he experiences weather in both, Cleveland, in all the AFC North, in the AFC North cities. So, I think it's going to be interesting to see how he does, having been in a dome all this time, and now, possibly playing in some weather. It could be bitter cold, it could be freezing in that weather. So it's gonna be, and plus the fact that he hasn't played football in almost 2 years by the time he plays. It'll be 23 months since his previous game. So grabbing him in best ball, grabbing him at the end of as the second QB in a draft, that's something that could be possibility. So we'll see. I mean, you obviously want to have someone good, and there are teams with week 14 buys in there, so maybe he comes in that week 13 and plays. But I'm not expecting much, but I'm going to wait to hear from our NFL insider on that before I make much more declarations on that. A couple other pieces. Tom Brady, there's no definitive date for his return. I mean, I'm starting to get a little concerned about this one. I mean, we're past the point. I think we're past the point of a raised eyebrow on this. It was supposed to be originally only 10 days. Mr. Scamper, muchas gracias. Yes, you can hear it in my voice. But you know what? I wanted to do a live stream to talk about the expo, and just what a great time. So, and I wanted to be here for you guys and see if we talk a little ADP. But first off, we got Taekwon Thornton has been one of the biggest surprises of Patriots camp, according to a longtime beat writer Tom Curran. Greg Cosell said before the season that the only difference between Chris Olave and Taekwon Thornton is the fact that is the helmet. He said he saw every skill set that he saw in Olave, he saw in Tyquan Thornton. And I'm very high on Olave, especially in that in what could be a sneaky high-powered offense over in New Orleans. And as you guys saw in our NFL Insider series with Andrew Callahan, that that Mac Jones is taking a step forward. So we're going to see where he's at. I think it's going to be. I think he could pop by the second half of the season. Just game-changing speed, 4.28 in the 40. So just a phenomenal player. The other thing is that Kendrick Bourne has been one of the biggest disappointments of Patriots camp. And you guys know that Kendrick Bourne has been someone I've been grabbing up a lot, kind of like a little bit of a cheat code guy, a guy who's going to take some snaps and everything. So I got into a fight one day. He got asked to, another day he got asked to leave because he wasn't looking good in practice. So something to keep an eye on in when it comes to drafts. So another bit of information: Juju Smith-Schuster is supposed to return next week. So here we are on Thursday, the 18th, and he's supposed to come back next week. And it's a knee, and John Hansen has been really talking about, a knee injury being something that's slowed up Juju Smith-Schuster, and something that has made teams really want to not spend up on him. He went for only $3 million. Yes, it's changing money for us regular folks, but when Marquez Valdes-Scantling gets almost more than 3 times that per year for 3 years, and Juju Smith-Schuster gets it for 1, it's kind of follow the money. How is it gonna be? So something to keep an eye on. Another thing to keep an eye on. It came out today that Joe Burrow, after his appendectomy, where he had an appendix rupture, he lost 20 pounds. So we know what happened when Clyde Edwards-Helaire lost weight last year. I know when people lose weight drastically, they can put it back on, but it's one of those things that's giving me pause. I still like Burrow very much. I think I think that's going to be a high-powered offense, but I wonder if that might be a slow beginning because of the time missed, and also kind of like the working his way back in. Last thing that we're going to talk about: Joe Buscaglia of The Athletic said there isn't much in the way of both Stephon Diggs and Gabriel Davis being on the field for 90+% of the snaps in 2022. So this is according to NBCSports.com/edge, and that Buscaglia was talking about the fact that Davis may be the best number 2 receiver that he's ever had, at least in these 3 years, including this year. So Familia, if we didn't have any more reason to be wheels up on Gabriel Davis, I just don't. I don't think there's any more reason. Again, got him for $20 in that draft. So let's go. And one other thing that Buscaglia mentioned is that Davis is the best wide receiver when it comes to run blocking. So that's going to keep him on the field very much. So Familia, anything Dios mío. It's when it comes to Davis, he's coming off. He's coming off in those middle rounds. It's stud. He's just an absolute stud. Where is he coming off? He's coming off wide receiver 23, coming off as pick number 48. So it's right there in, what is it, the 5th round. So I think it could be a bargain, Familia. Could be a bargain. So keep an eye on that. Also, the backfield for the Bills is looking like a three-headed monster. Zach Moss is really showing out a little bit in camp, very much in camp. So it's going to be a problem. I've been getting a lot of James Cook and Devin Singletary, and I've been ignoring Zach Moss. He is the biggest back that they have, so he might be getting the goal line touches. So something to keep in mind when it comes to when it comes to drafting out of that backfield, that all 3 guys are going to be involved in the offense. So Familia. So let's get into a little bit of an ADP price check. So I'm gonna look at sharing the screen again. Let's see. let's see. Oops, wrong one. Let me find the screen, por favor. I'm gonna let me get the correct window. Let's see. Let me see. I thought I had that one up. Let me see. Well, we're gonna get into it. Let me see. Let me see if I could get the correct Chrome tab. Let me let's see. I really want to put this on there. Let me sorry about this, Familia. I'm still learning how to do this whole thing. Let's see. We're going to get into some ADP price check, and it's yeah, here we go. Thank you for your patience. I mean, thank you for, this is why you guys are phenomenal. This is why you're such a wonderful audience. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let's see. Let me get the right screen going. There we go. So I hope you guys can see that okay. And so Familia, we've got, so I'm going to go into, let me put in the quarterbacks first. Let's see. Let me put in the quarterbacks because there are a couple of players that I'm really liking at their ADP right now. Jalen Hurts and Kyler Murray. They're both going at QB 6 and 7 right now. And I think they're bargains, Familia. I think they're big time bargains. I look at them, you know, where you've got, let me put in the filter. So you got Josh Allen coming off at you know, going off at their, you know, pick number 30. So that's the third round right now. You're passing on, you know, the latter half of the elite wide receivers. You're passing up some great player, you know, some of those, you know, back end running backs that are pretty good. I think you're looking at that. I mean, it's tough to actually, you know, pass up on that. You got, you know, Justin Herbert's going off a round and a half later. Patrick Mahomes, 20 picks after Josh Allen. I mean, it's, you know, the ADP price check, but Joe Burrow is going off as a QB5, and he's going one pick ahead of Kyler Murray. Murray has the running option, you know, has the running ability that, you know, last year through week 7, so it was almost halfway through the season, he was the QB3. And before he suffered an injury, the team was 7-0. This is what he is capable of. And that sample size, anything more than a 4-game sample size is pretty good. So I'm really high on Kyler Murray. Jalen Hurts is another one going at 75. I mean, you know, it looks like he may have made some big strides as a passer. So I like him a lot. Trey Lance going there at the QB 11 for number 99 is a great pick. By the way, this is a fantasy points. This is a look at the ADP from Fantasy Points, where you know, the NFFC and, you know, the high stakes leagues, they're getting the ADP from the sharps, the real sharp players. But you know, Where I'm really excited is guys like Trey Lance after the top 10. Trey Lance at number 11, going off at number 99, ADP number 99. Matthew Stafford 109. You know what? His workouts have been good. He's been fine. So don't worry about him. It's going to be a pain management thing. Derek Carr at 114 and Aaron Rodgers at 115. I mean, all those guys right there going off as the tail end in a 14-team league. That's the end of the picks. Or Aaron Rodgers is your backup quarterback. Come on, Familia. We're doing that's phenomenal. So potential bargains at number 147. So that's the 13th round. Justin Fields. That rushing ability. I mean, I've been talking about it with people. I mean, a lot of people use Jalen Hurts' season last year as kind of like a benchmark for people like Justin Fields. It is, he's good. He's going to rush. He is going to rush. Trevor Lawrence going off at number 18. Just a really good pick. One of the guys that I like right here, Davis Mills, number 212. I've been getting him a lot at the end of best ball drafts. I think he's, Graham Barfield even said, "What if he's good?" And I think he's good, Familia. I really think he's good. So we're gonna see that. So let's go over to the running backs. So Jonathan Taylor, he's going off as the 101. So in most leagues, Christian McCaffrey is going 2 to 3. So many guys. But let's start looking at Saquon Barkley. Is one guy. He's going off at ADP 13.5. People are understanding the fact that he's healthy. The camp reports have been good. He's going to be involved in the passing game. They've upgraded the offensive line. It's his walk year. So, if he wants to get paid next year, he needs to actually have a great season. So I look at him as he was a guy that I was getting in some third rounds in best ball drafts. So I love the value there. Alvin Kamara going midway through the second round at pick number 18. It's not looking like he's going to be suspended. I mean, John Hendricks, Sports Illustrated, he told me that. But again, make sure you're checking out that NFL Insider Series, Familia. John Hendricks, he pointed out it's they might actually just his representatives might actually just delay and make sure that it's his trial and potentially suspension don't happen until after the football season. So another guy that I'm getting more high on, I wasn't getting him before, but I'm going to change that, is Javonte Williams going in the middle of the second round. Melvin Gordon battled some injuries during preseason, during training camp. So he missed some time, and he actually just came out in recent days and pointed out that, they want Javonte Williams to be the starter. So, even Troy Rank, as he pointed out, as he pointed out, if he gets 60% of the, if he gets 60% of the workload, it's going to be, that's going to be really good. That's going to be really, really good. So, I think, you think 60% last year, 50-50 split. It was 203 and 203 for both Gordon and Williams. And you add 20% to that. I mean, that's, 230, 240, and 10%, maybe 220, 225, 230 carries. I'll take that. I'll take that all day and getting some work in the passing game. So he's another one. So a little bit further down the road, Travis Etienne is another one that's going. I don't love James Conner and Cam Akers. That one's kind of tough. Breece Hall is coming off at ADP number 40. Going just ahead of Ezekiel Elliott. Excuse me, Amelia. Yes, I'll be there for you, as you guys saw. Zeke going right after Breece Hall. I'll take Breece Hall. Give me the young guy. Give me the young guy. Zeke might actually be slowing down a little bit in life. One guy that I don't like this year is Antonio Gibson. I mean, the fumble last week and then working on special teams, kind of like as his penance. I think it's something, going off at pick number 67. I think that one's tough. I'd rather have Josh Jacobs, who's a pick later. I'd rather wait and draft Tony Pollard a full round later, or Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So give me a receiver in that point. So Ramondre Stevenson at pick number 9, ADP number 90, RB number 32. Everything is pointing out to him having more involvement in the passing game. I mean, it's just great. And one guy I expect to be coming up the draft boards a lot more is Damian Pierce, going off as the RB 38 at 107. I mean, he had 3 rushes, huge gains, and he's going to be getting some work in the passing game. So I just think he's a guy that's gonna get that's going to win that job because he's the most talented player in that backfield. They're going to want him to win it, but it might not be week 1. But in fact, I wouldn't even be surprised if he didn't take the first draft, the first carry. But by the end of the season, I could see over 1,000 yards and 8 to 10 touchdowns because he's a banger up close, and he's not going to be breakaway speed, but I like him a lot. Other guys that I like, Kenny Gainwell, amigo Connor Miles, going in the 11th round. I think he's a guy to keep an eye on. I mean, as some people have been calling him, they've been calling him Austin Eckler light, and he's going to be getting plenty of work in the passing game. Nyheim Hines, another one. Zach Kiefer mentioned that he is he's going to be there's going to be some pony package plays for him, and there have been plays where he and Jonathan Taylor are on the field at the same time, so people aren't going to know who's getting the ball. I mean, it's good. And sorry, Familia. Another one to keep an eye on, Brian Robinson at number 155. There we go. I mean, that's the 13th round. He's the banger. And Manny Chakuba pointed out that he's expecting that by the end of the season, Brian Robinson is going to be the guy who's getting most of the carries. So like him very much, like him very much. I'm getting him very much so much at the end of best ball drafts. Another guy to kind of keep an eye on. Hassan Haskins at 201, right there. He is, insurance policy for Derrick Henry, who has looked great in training camp, but again, you want that insurance policy because he's on the wrong side of 27. So people are pointing that out. So let us go over to the wide receivers. So, you got your Justin Jefferson's going off number 3, Cooper Kupp, and Jamar Chase is going off as number 5. It's like you look at those guys. I mean, that, sorry about that, Familia. Talking about those guys, there's that magnificent 7 at the top, ending in Deebo Samuel. You got to pick those by the middle of the 2nd round, because those guys are going to be gone. People are wising up and picking the receivers late. So I want to be looking further down. Mike Williams, who is going 9 picks after Keenan Allen. He's the guy who's getting the work in down close. So it's I think it's really good. I mean, he's going to be getting the touchdowns up close. Gilbert Manzano, he pointed out that when they had that big, that whenever they had the 4th down on that big drive against the Raiders in week 18 last year, whenever it was a 4th down play or a big play was needed, Justin Herbert went to Mike Williams. So keep an eye on that. Cortland Sutton, all the reports are he's been the best receiver out there. Deontay Johnson at pick number 40. I like him a lot there. I mean, that's kind of a sweet spot, in the draft. I mean, Allen Robinson going off as a wide receiver 20. I mean, that's good. I mean, all the way down to really down to Jerry Jeudy, Darnell Mooney, and Rashad Bateman. I mean, pretty much from Mike Williams to Rashad Bateman. I mean, I'd take all those guys. That's why I want to grab a guy early, and then I just want to hammer receiver. I want to grab a bell cow, a lead caballo early, and then just hammer receiver, and then just grab an AJ Dillon, someone like that later on, Ramondre Stevenson as my second back, and then hopefully get Damian Pierce, as my RB3 or RB4. But here's one thing. Chris Godwin is not looking, as even though he's looked great in workouts, he is, and he's going to potentially be an important player in the most important part of the season for fantasy, which is the back half of the season. I think you're paying up for him. I think I'd rather have Michael Thomas instead of him. I don't know if I'd rather have Elijah Moore. I think the quarterback situation is a little bit wonky there. So we'll see. But going a little bit further down, Robert Woods, he's running with no restrictions. He's got no knee brace. He made a big catch in workouts, and it was very clear that he didn't have a knee brace. So something to keep an eye on. Chris Olave at pick number 99. John Hendricks, again, he was saying he was one of the best receivers in minicamp. So as we've seen, wide receivers have come up, and those guys. I think the reason why New Orleans wasn't very good last year was the fact that offensively is they didn't have a lot of wide receiver talent. Plus they lost Jameis Winston. So hopefully there's a little bit more bumps away, for Jameis Winston. But let's look a little bit further down the road. Let me see. Where's George Pickens, who is the guy on JWall's on the JWall thumbnail. Let's see. Where is he? So let's see. George Pickens right there. Wide receiver number 66 going off at 147. So that's the 13th round, Familia. He's not going to go in the 13th round. All the reports, all the highlights that have been coming out, this man is going to be good. Noah Strackbine. I know you guys, I hope you guys don't get tired of me pointing out the NFL Insider Series. Noah Strackbine from Sports Illustrated, he pointed out that Pickens is, potentially a future number one wide receiver. He was one of the best players in minicamp, and he's been the same guy. Again, Greg Cosell said he was his number one wide receiver. So, if you're getting him in the 13th round, bargain. Romeo Dobbs, now we finally know it. He's going one pick behind him at number 67, 155. Another guy. I mean, Dusty Evely, he did a film breakdown yesterday on all the plays of Romeo Dobbs, and it pointed out that he's got some growth to do, especially in run blocking, but that he has talent, and he's a guy who's going to make some plays. And he already looks, it's going to depend on if he ends up in the trust tree with Rodgers. And the fact that Rodgers has already been calling him out on as someone good, that's something that I really, that has me looking up. Another guy, Alec Pierce, Zach Kiefer, another guy pointed out that he is good, and he's been getting the Stephon Gilmore treatment. So he is getting, he is learning. So, when it comes down, after that, I think that's the end of the extreme values. So I'm going to see if there's any values on the tight end side. I really didn't expect this to be going this long, Familia. So I appreciate you sticking around with us. Yes, Mr. Scampers. Pickens and Pacheco are climbing fast. Muy recio. Those guys, we're going to talk about Pacheco because that's one of the questions that we have in the chat. That we have. But Pacheco is close. So we'll get into there. But the tight ends, the tight end, I don't know how much we've got values going on there. I mean, Dalton Schultz, TJ Hawkinson, getting them later. I think that's very good. I mean, Schultz is going in the 6th round, Hawkinson in the 7th round, Dallas Goedert in the 8th round. So I think that's good. Zach Ertz, very much. Jess Root pointed out that Zach Ertz could be the number 2 target while DeAndre Hopkins is out. And that's for 6 games. Dawson Knox, I still like him. I mean, so athletic, and he's going to be at best, he's the number 3 target in that offense. But again, that's a high-powered offense that has one of the highest pass rates in the game. And the other one, Cole Kmet, going the next pick at 126, which is the the beginning, the middle of the 11th round, Cole Kmet is going to be the number 2 receiver, the number 2 pass catcher in Chicago. So he's going to get plenty of work. Everything is looking like it's going his way. So love it. Love it. So we're gonna stop sharing right now. Familia. So if you guys have any questions, drop them in the chat. But right now, I'm gonna one of the first questions that I had was from Eagle Dan Turner, who asked. Let me put this in the chat. Let's see. Eagle Dan Turner. Pointed out, where should you take Isaiah Pacheco in redraft leagues? Familia. You know what? Rookie running backs do sometimes have issues when it comes to when it comes to the learning an Andy Reid offense. But if he's kind of spoon-fed parts of it, a few running plays, maybe some pass catching. This guy out of Rutgers, that guy can play, Familia. He can play. He's a baller, and he is going in ADP. Let's see. I think he was like at 159, I believe. Let me see. Let me get that number real quick. Isaiah Pacheco, 152. And so he is, Familia, getting in the 13th round of a 12-team league to get a piece of the Kansas City Kansas City offense when Mecole Hardman is having issues with staying healthy, and Juju Smith-Schuster is having issues with staying healthy. Sky Moore is looking great, so I just look at those guys, and I think this guy is going to be he's going to be a good player. There are going to be some plays for him probably in the second half of the season. I still like Clyde Edwards-Helaire, but I think that he is going to be a complement to CEH. So we're going to see that. So any other questions? Any other questions in the chat? Familia, Mr. Scampers, Dame Overboard, anybody? I got. I know that. I know one guy that is interesting a little bit is Ty Davis Price. I look at him as he's going off at pick number 166. Going off at 166, I think he is definitely a good player to grab someone. What's the rule that Kyle Shanahan always has a different person lead the team in rushing? I don't know if it's going to be Ty Davis Price, but I'll take that lottery ticket at the end of the draft. Loteria. So. Love it. All right, Familia. Any questions? If there's any other questions for the AMA portion, Mr. Scampers, otra vez, thank you for the kind words to feel better. Oh, let me see. I'm just worried about Jerick McKinnon in KC. Yeah, he was used very much in the playoffs, and he looked so good, so naturally good in the playoffs. That's the thing. I mean, I think CEH. I think we've progressed from the fact that CEH is going to be a bell cow, just from the fact that he was picked in front of Jonathan Taylor. I think he's going to be, I think that's the thing that we keep looking at. But I look at him and, McKinnon's going to get some play. I mean, that's the thing. CEH is going to get some play, but so will McKinnon. I don't know if Ronald Jones will. The camp reports are kind of mixed on him. But again, Isaiah Pacheco, just keep an eye on his usage. Yeah. I mean, his usage may have been because of CEH's gallbladder issue, but they did sign him back. And they did use him in the playoffs. So I mean, that's something to keep in mind. Khalil Herbert, yes. Dame, yes. I don't know if he's going to be a workhorse, but remember, Luke Gentry, he was the quarterback coach over in Green Bay last year. So that offense really split carries between the running backs. AJ Dillon got a lot of work. He got over 1,000 total yards. He was used in the passing game. Khalil Herbert, remember that 4-game stretch last year? He was one of the best running backs in fantasy, and I look at him as really being a complementary player this year. I do think David Montgomery may be drafted too high because of the fact that Khalil Herbert is going to be getting some extra play, and he's going to. So I think we talked about 60-40 split with Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams. I think it could be something similar here, maybe 65-35. But I think Khalil Herbert is going to get some play. I could definitely a workhorse handcuff, because you're right. I mean, David Montgomery has missed time each of the last 2 seasons. So maybe they're going to, step back on the usage on him and make sure that Khalil Herbert gets some playing time and some carries to become more of a really more of a complementary player rather than a backup. So I do like Khalil Herbert. So just again, look at AJ Dillon last year. Look at AJ Dillon, and that may be his ceiling. I think he comes in a little bit further because that offense is not going to be as good as the Packer offense was last year. So, familia, eso es todo for our show. I'm so glad my voice held out for this. So much thanks for amigos, Craig, J-Wall, Mr. Scampers, Dame Overboard, Albert. I mean, so much. Anybody else I missed? I think that's everybody. Thank you so much. I so appreciate this. You guys made it worth it to get out of bed to do this. And again, Familia, make sure when you're going, if you go to fantasypoints.com, use the promo code Familia22, get 10% off your subscription. Again, that NFL rookie prospect guide is going to be invaluable for you and it's discounted 60% off. So get in there. Again, please give us a like and subscribe on YouTube. Again, our numbers have been jumping. Muchas gracias for that, everybody. Familia, if you're watching this on the rebroadcast, please make sure to give us a like and subscribe, por favor. And also, thank you to Anchor for putting us out there on Apple, Google, Spotify on the audio version of the podcast. Thank you to go to familiafbb.com. I got a little slowed down with getting sick and also the expo, but I'm going to be jumping back in, writing some articles and posting them on my Twitter at Jorge Martin 17. And again, Familia FFB, Instagram, Facebook, get there. So otra vez, familia, muchas gracias for joining me, and remember, todos somos familia. Salud.